Peace and blessings, everybody.
Peace.
I am IFA Jamini Ray.
I am IFA Tegunjet.
And you are tuned in to
the best,
the greatest
podcast
on the planet Earth. Let's talk IFA.
Ashe. We are back. We are back.
We love y'all. We thank you. We back with another episode.
Yes.
Blessings to you and your families.
Ashe.
Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. We love y'all. We appreciate everybody. Today's podcast episode, our topic today is ODU and why women cannot see ODU. So we'll be referencing the Holy ODU, OFUN MEJI, or MEJI,
ODU.
Yes, let us dissect this topic. I've seen some chatter and some chats and stuff on posts on Facebook, different social media from certain people.
I caught a glimpse of that.
Yeah, from some women that were talking about, why they can't see ODU, and it was kind of a let's say not an argument, but it was kind of a rebuttal or a a comeback as to why women are not allowed to see ODU. And it was kind of making some references to the fact that, perhaps this was some type of male chauvinist type of thing that somebody came up with, and that I guess it wasn't fair, and that perhaps women can see ODU. It was that the conversation had that tone to it. So we just wanted to come on real quick and talk about this, reference the ODU, tell the story of the ODU, and as it relates to this, and why, and explain, as stated by IFA, why women can't see ODU, without getting too deep and spacey about it and, off the wall.
I'm confused a little bit.
What you confused about,
because some of these people are like Isheshe. They say they Isheshe. Isheshe Lagba, I'm Isheshe. My lineage come from West Africa, so we the true Isheshe.
No doubt.
But then you hear some of these people, and a lot of them are like Yanifa, that I catch a glimpse when I hear why, or not just why they can't, why they, it's not just why they can't see ODU, it's also why women can't join a Gungun society and see a Gungun, or why can't we see Oro? And these are ancient taboos.
Yeah. So we're going to have to do a separate show on
that.
Oro and Egungun. But yes, in that same spirit.
Yeah, I'm like, we can get into the story.
Let's jump into the story. So in the story, OFUN MEJI or Ragu MEJI, Yorumila was about to embark on a journey. So he went for divination like he normally does. And Ifa told him to postpone his journey because there was a special visitor coming, and that he should treat her very kindly, and that he should, marry this particular woman because she was going to bring a lot of prosperity and be an aid in his spiritual works, of Ifa, as Orunmila does. So, of course, he made the sacrifice, and Orunmila listened. So he postponed his journey. So the visitor came, and it was a strange lady, and she was not a very pretty lady. They say Oromudi. It's her name, ODU. In the name of the story, they say she was unattractive. Yeah. She had spots all over her body and things like that. But she was one of the powerful women that carried a certain ashe and energy with her that, you know, was kind of sent through destiny to help aid Orunmila in his work. So she came, and of course Orunmila listened and abided by what Ifa said. So this came from her. This came from Oromudimudi, otherwise known as ODU. She stated that her taboo was that none of Orunmila's wives, or no woman, and for that fact, could stare into her eye, could look into her eyes, could see her, could look her in her face. This is what she said. So Orunmila didn't say that. That's what she said. No other woman could see her face, right? So Orunmila complied and told her that. So he set her up with her own private room. And he told all the wives, he said, you know, in order for her to eat when it was time to, you know, to feed Oromudimudi, they would set, you know, the plate, they would set the food down in front of the door and leave. So when Oromudimudi was ready to eat, she would open the door, grab the food, go back in her room, close the door. When she was done eating, she would open the door, place the food, place the empty dishes down, and close the door, go back in her room. Orunmila set up with her own private room. So this went on for some time, for a little while, everything was cool. So then Orunmila decided to, okay, now it's time for me to go ahead and embark on a journey that he had postponed, adhering to the directives of Ifa. So now Orunmila is gone. So now one of the wives got curious. She was curious of who is this person in this room, and with this private room that we keep setting this food down for, and they put out the empty plates, and the wife was overcome with curiosity. Now, coincidentally, the same women that are asking these, that have all this stuff to say about this today, are like kind of descendants of this curious wife. They come from that same.
They come from that concept.
That same, it's that same energy. It's almost like a descendant, of that particular wife, the one that questioned it, right?
The curiosity.
The curiosity was killing her. She couldn't take it.
Curiosity killed the cat.
So Orunmila had already instructed the wives to not look in her face, to not hold the lamp up and try to see her face in the dark or look at it when she comes out. You know, they instructed them to place the food there and leave. And then when they saw the dishes out, they was instructed to get them and leave. Don't bother her. Don't try to see her. Don't knock on the door. Don't do none of that. So one of the wives got curious, and this particular day, the food was set down for Oromudimudi. She got it, took it like she normally does. But this time, when she was done, and she was going to put the empty dishes out in front of the door, the curious wife was standing there, like she timed it, like she was anticipating, had the lamp up. And as soon as she looked into her face, ODU became infuriated and instantly killed the wife. Boom, the wife fell out dead, done. So now Orunmila is away on his journey doing his spiritual works and doing what Orunmila does. Divining for people, healing people, helping to solve people's problems, bringing, you know, light and solutions to the problems of humanity till today. So Orunmila felt something was off in his body. You know what I'm saying? He just knew that something was going on.
It was off.
So Orunmila returned home and found that the wife was dead and had been killed. So Orunmila contacted and spoke to Aurora. By this time, Oromudimudi ODU had left. She was gone. So Orunmila communicated with her through IFA, which is a special chanting of Ifa, which is like telecommunication. It's like back then they didn't have cell phone or any of those things, or text messages and social media chats and all of that. They had Ifa. They had
Ifa poetry.
Yeah, a chanting, a certain chanting that was like, wherever you are, if I chant this, you're going to hear it. It was like their form of ancient more advanced telecommunication than what we have today, and said, "Oh, Moody, did I make this pact with you for you to kill my wife?" And Oro Moody ODU, she replied with Iere, and she said, "We made a deal, we made a pact that none of your wives should look into my eyes." So at that point, Orunmila knew he had no more case to plead, that he had to leave it alone because the wife had broken the taboo. The wife had broken the rule that Oro Moody, that Odu herself had set, had given to Orunmila, which Orunmila gave to the wives. So he knew that he couldn't question it anymore after that because the curious wife was the one that messed up. So, eventually Odu came back and they continued the pact and the relationship that they had. But that is the story. So we're not gonna speculate, and we're just gonna stick to the story from Orangun Meji, from OFUN Meji, Hip Hop Do. This is what she said, that no wife or no female could look at her. This is not something that Orunmila made up. This was this was her rule. So
and Odu,
I don't understand.
And Odu is a female. So a female,
she said it,
actually, through Orunmila, told his wives, "You can't look upon me.
No female can look at my face.
No female can look upon me."
That's the story.
Taboo.
That's the story. Yeah.
So it's simple. One thing when studying IFA, one thing that I learned when studying IFA, or even this Odu itself, is it's laid out clear and simple.
Yeah.
You don't need to go deep and try to figure out why we can't do something.
And challenge it.
Why can't we? Where did this come from? It's simple. When IFA says it, that's what it is. Because it goes way back beyond us.
Benny.
It goes beyond our parents, beyond our grandparents. And these traditional practices and taboos go way back.
I say.
So it's really no need to challenge it.
Yeah.
But I guess through every generation, there has to be an example.
Well, it's just like in the story. Just the wife was curious. So that means that if the curious wife in that story, those type of women are going to always exist, just like it did then.
Right. It's like you said,
it's the
like
same thing.
Descendant of the younger wife.
Exactly.
Who was curious.
Yeah.
Like they said, curiosity killed the cat. And the cat is always going to try to figure out how they can see what they're not supposed to see.
Right, and do what they're not supposed to do. And I don't understand it because there's plenty to do to not be concerned about why you can't see or do.
Right.
There's so much you can do.
Right.
There's so many other things you can do to be who you are, to be powerful, to be in your lane, to be in your destiny, to be like to work with the ORISA, with Egungun, you can be the most powerful.
Ajay.
All of those things.
Like,
you can be the most you can be a great Iyanifa or Iyalo Orisha, Orisha priestess or priestess of Ifa without seeing Odu. When females, when our sisters are initiated to Ifa, when they do Itefa, all the other ceremonies and all the rituals that are done the same way, except for Odu is omitted. And there's a reason for that, because it's not like they're not missing out on anything, but there's a reason for. So I don't understand. There's so many powerful things that you can do. Why do you need to trip on this?
Right. And it's not like, well, why? Because, we live in a time where everybody, like, women want to do what men can do, and then you have men who want to do what women can do. What women do. You have men who want to do women do. So we living in this time where there's a lot of taboos being broken.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got men dressing up like women.
Yeah.
You got women dressing up like men. So people are overstepping like their bounds.
Overstepping
and men acting like women.
Stay in your lane. And women acting like men.
So so now here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go again. And as you know, examples will be set.
Yeah.
So go on ahead if you want to.
It's only one way to test your theory. It's only one way to test it. Right. If you really want to either,
go on and try to looking at that
I wouldn't advise it.
Yeah. If you want to. And be that lesson for all the other people.
Just like the curious wife
can't see.
From the ODU, from the story. There's only one way to test your theory. All the talking you don't have to do it. If that's what you want to do, which I would not advise. And
I would not advise it neither.
To take it deeper than that, let's take the gender out of it. Uninitiated men cannot see ODU either. It's not just women. A regular, ordinary man, the male man can't go look at ODU because he's a man. So you can really take the gender out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They can't see ODU either.
Yeah, these are rules and laws.
Yeah.
Spiritual rules and laws set by our elders because they saw what happened.
Yeah. It's as dictated by IFA.
Yeah, and that's plain and simple. They
said it through, again.
If you believe in IFA, why won't you believe in that?
And again, Orumila that didn't come from Orumila. That came
from ODU.
That was her rule. He just agreed to have that pact and enforce her rule. So of course he had to pass it along to the wives to say, hey, don't look at her face, period.
And one broke the rule.
And one broke the rule.
And was the example.
And you saw what happened.
And was the example to the other, not just the other wives, but to women, period.
Period. Or anybody who's not supposed to look at ODU as well, male or female.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the example. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, let's focus on all the other wonderful, beautiful things, powerful things that we can do and not trip out on, on that one thing that ODU said that you can't look at her.
Because a woman's power, from what I see, is in that marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
Is in that marketplace.
It's everywhere. The marketplace is spirituality. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Women do almost everything that men can do anyway. We have certain roles that are kind of more tilted or whatever, but the marketplace, even it's all spirituality, all in the marketplace. All the marketplaces in Africa have Eshu or Ogun or something.
Right.
And the Iyalaje that runs that market, she the one that runs that, that deals with that shrine that is associated with the market.
The market, I say.
You got Gele Day, we got, Iami, we got all different.
You got all of the Orisha cults and temples are mainly
the female that the women kind of run. Even Ekbe.
Yeah.
And when you look at Ekbe, that's mostly women that are kind of, the biggest. You have some men, but it's a lot more women.
The women run it. The women.
It's a lot of power there. So
the women are the force that keeps it together.
Yeah.
To keep those temples together. So
it's
not like women are excluded from
at all
spirituality or anything like that.
Period.
Or the women don't, have because of Oshun.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And Oshun, Oshun, Oshun started women's liberation.
You can't do nothing without women.
You can't do nothing without women. So, but there are taboos because there are things that in the spirituality, there are taboos for men.
Banning.
Certain things that men can't do.
Right.
That women can do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's taboos on both sides. So this one story about ODU And, why women can't see ODU is just that's, you see the example. That's what ODU herself wanted.
What she said.
That's what she said.
So if you want to know why you can't see ODU, talk to her. Talk to your sister. Because we don't know. All we can do is abide by what IFA, what the SAIFA is saying.
And that's
so ask her why you can't see it. I don't know.
As Babalawo or Awo or Yanifa, we are the ones to remind the people of these taboos.
Yeah, to teach, to remind, to enforce, to pass down.
We are the historians.
Yeah.
We are the historians.
Yeah.
So we have to, these are the things that we gotta make sure that they don't happen. So it shouldn't be it shouldn't be no question.
Yeah. I just kind of don't get that, No offense to anybody, we just speaking, the truth. But we just noticed that topic and we figured this would be a good topic and a good education for some people who don't know this, who didn't know it before. For some people, this will be their first time hearing about this, right?
Yeah, to me, it's laid out simple.
Yeah.
Once you hear the story, it really shouldn't be no question and why can't we see ODU?
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be no argument. Because if people are questioning it, and there's certain feminine energies out there that's questioning it, they must not be studying, because the story is clearly right there. This is what ODU herself said.
Some of them studying, but they just descendants of that wife. They just gonna be curious anyway. They read the story and everything, but they still are like, I feel like I can see ODU because of whatever.
Too much testosterone or something? I don't know. Too much testosterone shots.
Possibly. Possibly.
Well.
But I feel like there's a rightful place for everybody and there's a lane for everybody and there's plenty, of powerful things that women can do. Yanifa, ORISA.
My God.